This program is from the generic radio workshop script of a Lone Ranger radio show. It was originally aired on July 9th, 1954. The adventure is Trouble at Rafter H.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past comes the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver. Let's go, big fella. Hi-yo, Silver, away!
Late one afternoon, the Lone Ranger's Indian friend Tonto entered Marshal Jack Forbes' office in Copper City in northern Texas.
Oh, Marshal Forbes.
Yeah? Who's that? Well, I'll be a two-toed grasshopper. Tonto? How the heck are you?
Oh, me fine.
Where's the Lone Ranger?
Oh, him in hills north of town.
Well, I reckon the two of you come to this part of the country to see your old friends, Clarabelle, Hornblow, and Thunder Martin.
No, we not come to see Clarabelle and Thunder this time.
Oh?
We come this way to look for a crook named Shelby.
Shelby? Shelby? Never heard of that critter.
Well, him wanted for murder in Kansas. We trailed him long time.
You must have if you followed this far.
We lose trail 2 days ago. Masked man hoped to find killer straying in the hills. Him send me here to tell you, be on lookout for a man with big scar across forehead.
Uh-huh. Where'd you lose the coyote's trail?
On north side of Sunflower River.
Well, I'll tell my deputies to be on the lookout for this Shelby feller. Then I'll ride to the Lone Ranger's camp with you. All three of us will look for that rat's trail.
Ah, that's good.
Whoa there, whoa!
Meanwhile, Thunder Martin drew reins at Clarabelle Hornblow's kitchen door and hurried inside. The ex-mule skinner's face was flushed with excitement.
Say, Clarabelle, I'm rich. I struck it rich.
What do you say?
I found gold, Clarabelle. My luck has changed. I'm through working for wages. I'm going to be a millionaire.
Hold on, Thunder. Now take it easy. Slow down.
This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. When I saw that gold,
Will you be quiet, you mutton-headed idiot?
Huh? What's wrong?
A feller named Shelby came to the door a little while ago asking for a place to rest and a meal. He lost his horse and gear crossing Sunflower River.
Where is he?
In the next room, you big idiot. I'll bet he heard every word you said.
Well, doggone, you should have warned me.
I would have if I had the chance, you blabbering idiot. Now let's step outside so we won't be overheard.
Yeah.
Okay, step.
He won't hear us talking out here.
Now where'd you find that gold, Thunder?
Down by the creek, about 5 miles from here.
You don't know a doggone thing about prospecting.
Huh?
But if you're right about this, if you really have found gold, you better keep quiet about it.
Don't worry. I'm not going to risk losing my strike to some claim jumper. I'll put my horse in the corral.
Good. Now go on inside and I'll make some supper and put it on the table.
When the food was on the table, Thunder roused Dade Shelby. The killer came down to the table and wolfed his meal in silence. And then when Thunder left the house to take care of chores outside, and Clarabelle cleared the kitchen table, the killer drew his gun.
Hey, what's the idea?
Don't make a sound or I'll shoot.
Have you gone loco?
Sit down in that chair by the table and be quick about it.
But.
Do as you're told. And don't try to call for help, because if Thunder walks in here, I'll shoot him.
Why, you no good ornery skunk. This is the thanks I get for taking you in and feeding you.
Shut up. Now put your hands behind the chair and I'll tie him.
You won't get away with this. Oh, my arm.
Keep quiet.
Here.
Now I'm gonna gag you with this towel.
Oh, no, you don't. Oh.
I told you to shut up. That'll keep you quiet. Now I'll tie your feet. Hold still. Now whether you like it or not, you're there to stay.
Well, the chores are done, Clarabelle.
Get your hands up, Thunder.
Hey, what's the idea?
Get the hands up or I'll shoot the woman.
All right, don't hurt Clarabelle.
Leave your hands high until I get your gun.
What do you want? What are you after?
The gold you found today.
Huh?
You're gonna show me where it is.
So you heard me when I came into the kitchen.
That's right. I needed a meal, so I waited before making a move.
Well, you'll never get away with this, mister.
If you lead me to the gold, you won't get hurt. If you don't, you'll stop lead. Now get going.
Meanwhile, the Lone Ranger, Tonto, and Marshal Forbes found Dade Shelby's runaway horse, quietly nibbling grass a short distance from the Sunflower River. After examining the animal's tracks, the masked man and Tonto realized what happened, and soon afterwards they found Shelby's trail heading south on foot. Darkness was falling when they set out to follow it. Some distance south of where the three men were looking for Shelby, Thunder Martin tried desperately to think of a way to escape Shelby. The creek where Thunder accidentally struck gold was west of the ranch, but Thunder headed east, hoping to meet a rancher or a friend who could help him. After nearly 2 hours of travel, Shelby exclaimed,
Hey, the gold can't be this far from the ranch.
How do you know where it is?
I think you're stalling. And what's worse, you're trying to lead me into a trap.
You wanted me to lead you to the gold, didn't you?
I know a sure way to find out where it is. We're going back to the ranch. You and Clarabelle stepped out of the kitchen so you can tell her where the gold is without being overheard. You must have told her where you found it.
No, Clarabelle doesn't know where it is.
I think she does. And she'll talk too, to save your hide. Turn that critter around. We're going back to the house. Get around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In the ranch house, Clarabelle has been struggling with the ropes that held her. By rocking her chair back and forth, she managed to move it close to the stove. Twice she burned her wrists painfully against the hot metal. But at last, the singed rope broke as she strained at it.
Now, if I can just untie my feet.
As soon as her feet were free, she hurried to the corral.
That thieving pokehood stole my palomino.
And Clarabelle quickly saddled another horse.
Steady, easy, easy. The sooner I get to Marshal Forbes, the better. Get up there. Come on, get up there.
Clarabelle traveled across country to save time. It happened to be toward Sunflower River, where Sheriff Forbes and the Lone Ranger were trying to pick up the trail of Shelby. More than once, Clarabelle mumbled and regretted being without the palomino. Then, without warning, her horse lost its footing.
Mercy! Help!
Thrown from the saddle, Clarabelle pitched headlong to the ground, where she hit her head against a small boulder and lay still, too stunned to rise.
Whoa, whoa.
A short distance away, the Lone Ranger signaled a halt and spoke to Marshal Jack Forbes and Tonto.
Jack, did you hear someone call for help?
I thought I did.
Me hear it. It sounds like woman.
Come on, we'll investigate. Come on, Silver.
A few minutes later, the Lone Ranger, Tonto, and Marshal approached the still figure.
Whoa, easy there, fella. Why, it's Clarabelle.
Looks like she took a header.
She struck her head when she fell.
Bad cut on forehead.
The masked man reached for Clarabelle's wrist to take her pulse. He saw the burns she suffered freeing herself from the ropes.
How bad is she hurt?
I don't know, Marshal. Her wrists have been burned. It looks as though she may have been tied.
Me bandage cut on head.
Bandage her wrists, too.
Me fix him.
I don't savvy what she's doing out at this hour of night and why the injured wrist. Traveling cross country over places you ought to have more sense than to tackle.
Kimosabi, maybe you'd better to have a doctor come. Him know how bad Clarabelle hurt. Can fix him good.
I think you're right, Tonto.
Rafter H isn't very far from here. I'll go there and ask Thunder Martin to bring a wagon so she can be moved.
Good idea, Jack.
Whoa, easy there. What about the doctor?
Tonto will ride into town to get the doctor.
I'll be back soon with Thunder and wagon. Get up now, get up.
I'll stay with her until you return, Tonto.
That good. Get him up, Scout.
Well, Tonto rode towards town, and Marshal Jack Forbes rode towards the Rafter H. Thunder Martin and Shelby approached the ranch from the opposite direction. The scar-faced killer kept Thunder covered and watching him closely.
Whoa, easy boy.
They dismounted at the back door and entered the kitchen.
Get inside. Don't try a fast move or it'll be your last.
Don't worry. Hey, Clarabelle's gone.
Here are the ropes I tied her with. Yeah, somehow she managed to burn them off.
I bet she's gone for help. That means your scheme to get my gold won't work. You're in trouble, mister.
I hear a rider.
Yeah, heading this way. I told you, Clarabelle went for help. Maybe that's Marshal Forbes coming to get you.
I'm not caught yet.
As Dade Shelby spoke, he swung his gun to the barrel side of Thunder Martin's head. The big man slumped to the floor, unconscious.
I can't watch you and that rider too, so I'll tie your feet and gag you. That way you won't make any trouble for me.
Shelby worked fast. He tied him down, gagged Thunder, and dragged him into the next room seconds before Marshal Forbes took rein in the moonlit yard.
Whoa.
From a place near the open door, Dade Shelby watched the lawman dismount. Suddenly, the moonlight glinted on the star pinned to the marshal's vest. Thinking Clarabelle told the law about him, the killer cursed softly. As the marshal hurried towards the kitchen door, he fired. Back on the trail, where the Lone Ranger waited with Clarabelle, the buxom ranch owner groaned softly.
Take it easy, Clarabelle.
Mister, is that really you?
Yes, Clarabelle. Tonto, Marshal Forbes, and I found you. What happened to your wrist there?
I burned him trying to get the ropes off. Well, you sure turned up at the right time, mister. Thunder and I need your help bad.
Who tied you?
A scar-faced critter who came by my place afoot asking for a meal. I didn't want to turn a feller away who'd been down on his luck, so...
Hold it. A scar-faced man? Is the scar across his forehead?
Say, how'd you know?
He's wanted for murder.
What? Oh, sakes alive.
Tonto and I have been following him for some time now.
He's at my place now, or somewhere around my place. He captured Thunder and me. If he's a killer, oh, poor Thunder.
Tell me, did he rob you?
He wants to steal Thunder's gold. Mister, you gotta do something. Please say poor Thunder.
Marshal Forbes is on the way to the ranch now.
Oh, this critter, he's smart. He might fool the marshal long enough to get the drop on him and then...
Clarabelle, I don't want to leave you alone here. Tonto went to town to get...
I'm not feeling all that first rate, but I'd feel a whole lot better knowing you were on your way to the ranch to help Thunder. I'll be all right here.
I have a spare gun in my saddlebag. I'll leave it to you while I go to the ranch, and Tonto will be here soon with the doctor.
By the time the Lone Ranger reached the Rafter H, Marshal Forbes had managed to free Thunder Martin. The big mule skinner was bandaging the lawman's wound when the masked man dismounted at the back door. As briefly as possible, Thunder explained what happened.
I plan to go after that rattler as soon as I finish fixing the marshal's wound, mister. He really hightailed it out of here.
He's trying to reach the border and avoid hanging. I'll go track him down.
He's riding Clarabelle's Palomino. There. That takes care of your wounds, Marshal. So I'll go help the Lone Ranger.
I don't think he needs help. But Clarabelle does. She was hurt when her horse came up lame and fell. You have to take a wagon to the Sunflower River near Dead Man's Slope to get her.
Torn between his loyalty to Clarabelle and his desire to see the outlaw captured, Thunder went and started to harness a team to the buckboard. A few minutes later, Thunder and the wounded lawman left the ranch. Miles to the south of the ranch, the Lone Ranger, Great White Stallion, raced across the fields after Shelby. The outlaw's trail was clear and easy to follow in the brilliant moonlight.
Hi-yo, Silver!
The powerful stallion responded with a burst of speed, maintaining a high rate of speed that got him closer and closer to the fleeing killer. Presently, the masked man saw Dade ahead. The mighty Silver began closing the gap separating them. Shelby heard the thundering hoofbeats and turned to look over his shoulder.
You're finished, Dade.
Dade recognized the masked man as the Lone Ranger. In a sudden panic, he snatched his gun from his holster.
Turn back or I'll kill ya.
The frightened killer fired hastily. A shot was wide.
I'll get you.
Give up, Shelby.
The Lone Ranger was counting the shots, so he knew the killer's gun was empty. So he brought the racing Silver close to the Palomino. Then he grabbed Shelby.
Let me go.
Both men hit the ground as Silver and the well-trained Palomino slowed to a halt. The Lone Ranger leaped to his feet.
On your feet, Dade. I have a new score to settle with you, killer.
What are you talking about?
Clarabelle Hornblow and Thunder Martin are friends of mine. Clarabelle's wrists are burned, and she was hurt in a fall because of you.
Now wait a minute, mister. I didn't know.
Then, without warning, Shelby swung, and the blow missed the masked man's chin and struck his shoulder. Then, before he knew what happened, the Lone Ranger drilled a fist into Shelby's stomach. As he slumped forward, another blow hooked his chin, and the killer went down. Shelby was no match for the irritated champion of justice.
Now, while you're unconscious, I'll tie your hands and make sure you don't have any other weapon. Then we're going back to the Rafter H ranch.
It was nearly daybreak when the Lone Ranger reached the ranch with his prisoner. Doc Simpson was there with Tonto, Clarabelle, Marshal Forbes, and Thunder Martin. The Lone Ranger offered to help the wounded marshal take Shelby to jail.
Well, I sure could use help, mister. Doc's going with me, and you could travel to the end of town with us.
I'll be glad to, Marshal. Clarabelle, I'm sorry you had all this trouble. I hope you will soon be well enough to make one of those fine apple pies you always serve to Tonto and me.
Say, mister, now that the rattler's been caught and he looks a lot like a thresher done run him over, I feel good enough to start a couple pies right now. They'll be ready by the time you all get back from town.
I'll hurry back. Tonto, let's go.
Me wait here, Kimosabi. Me pie taster. Make sure good for Lone Ranger.
All right, get going, Shelby.
I'm going.
I hope they hang that dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Clarabelle say him tried to steal gold from you?
That's right, Tonto. I struck it rich. I've got a little gift for you and the Lone Ranger.
Oh, what that?
I want you two to have the first nuggets of gold I took from my claim. I got some right here in my pocket. I didn't show Clarabelle because I wanted to give it to you and the masked man.
Oh, that plenty nice, Thunder.
Well, here you are. This is for you and the others for the masked man.
You think this gold?
Of course it's gold. Look at the color of it.
No, this not gold.
Huh?
Me see this many times. Lone Ranger say it iron or copper. Pyrite.
Pirates?
Fool's gold, Thunder.
Thunderation. I've been
Me
hornswoggled.
sorry, you ask someone else to be sure.
Why, you know a doggone sight more about that than he does, Tonto.
Fool's gold. No. Well, I'll be hornswoggled.
Oh, I don't feel so bad, Thunder. That killer was a bigger fool about it than you were.
A short time later, the Lone Ranger returned. Lone Ranger and Tonto enjoyed their apple pie with Clarabelle and Thunder, and after saying their goodbyes, they rode off to help others.
Hi-yo, Silver, away!
The Lone Ranger and Tonto continue their quest to find outlaws and maintain law and order through their actions. They instill in all the people the thoughts of the Lone Ranger's creed.
I believe that to have a friend, a man must be one. That all men are created equal and that everyone has it within himself the power to make this a better world. That God put the firewood there, but every man must gather it and light it himself. In being prepared physically, mentally, and morally to fight when necessary for that which is right. That a man should make the most of what equipment he has. That this government for the people, by the people, and for the people shall live always. That men should live by the rule of what is best for the greatest number. That sooner or later, somewhere, somehow, we must settle with the world to make payment for what we have taken. That all things change but truth, and that truth alone lives forever in my Creator, my country, and my fellow man.
The Lone Ranger is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated. This script was originally produced by the Arizona Theater Works and was revised by the Lake Orion Seniors. The director of this adventure was Evelyn Doyle. She's in the radio room. The part of Lone Ranger was played by Mark Thurber. Tonto by Bob Hazard. Clarabelle Hornblow by Penny Schultz. Marshal Jack Forbes by Chris Barnett. Thunder Martin by Richie Rollins. And Dade Shelby by Joe Johnson. Our great sound effects by Judy Hart. Faye Noble. And Nancy Fisher. Our audio was by Joe Villa of ONTV. The cameras were by George Sennett and Glendon Smith. And we want to thank ONTV for all their help. I'm your announcer, Ed Ratzenberger.